Hello, everyone. So first of all, we are very happy to be here and to be sponsor of this event. Thank you, the team, also for having us. So we're really pleased. So today, I want to spend a bit of time talking with you about cryptocurrency mining, DeFi, and sustainability. So that's what I want to talk. And I will start this, let's say, presentations by talking about problems. So I'm sure that no one here really likes problems. And be reassured, I'm not going to talk about my personal problems. It's not the purpose. Just when we reflect on, what makes our business and why we are doing what we do, it's very important that we think about problems from a business and technological standpoint. I think every step forward, is fueled by problems, or I would say the will of solving a problem. And this is exactly what we are doing, and why at some point you can imagine that we are bridging mining of cryptocurrency, DeFi, and sustainability. So, like I said, of course, problems fuel opportunities, and therefore fuels innovations. And it's really something that is important inside of the company. For us, it's every problem that we have, that we face, is an opportunity, right, to improve a process, to bring new solutions, to enhance our services that we provide to customers. So, and I think maybe you can reflect and think in your area, respective areas, how you process the problems to make your company move forward. So that's what we do at Hearst. And with this wheel, we are doing innovative, right, crypto mining. So it sounds a bit like fancy, but it just means that we are leveraging any problems along the way, whether it's internally of our customers' problems, to move the industry forward. So just in terms of background, I met with my partners a couple of years ago. I worked into a laboratory, right, for digital research. And my partners was really expert in Bitcoin mining, Ethereum mining. So when we met, look, innovation, crypto mining, we ended up building this company. We are based in UAE. We have sites worldwide with this wheel, again, to make things better inside of the industry. So I'm going to do a small parallel, right, between mining of crypto and mining of gold. It's a parallel that has been done many times. But why I want to do that is just to show you the guy that is on the left here, who is George Hearst. So you might not know him. But this guy was a very famous and successful entrepreneur back in the 19th centuries. And he was a gold miner. But he has this wheel inside of his own industry to push the boundaries and make sure that he's going to verticalize every aspect, of the industry, of the process, making sure that he controls what is happening and make sure that everything is smooth. And so we named the company after him because we want to do more or less the same, or at least we are trying to at every different step of the mining process, whether it's when you capture the capital to fund your mining, or whether when you get the harvest from the mining, what you do with it. And yeah, that's it for the story. So just a quick note on what is the blockchain mining process or crypto mining process. So of course, we're talking about proof of work here. We will talk about proof of less work a bit after. But it's really about, processing the transactions and make sure that everything is encrypted and stored into the blockchain. And the miners is let's say, electrician that like crypto, that just plugging some machines and running some infrastructure. At least this is the way crypto mining was done a couple of years back. Now let's say that we are trying to make things work in a better and more efficient manner. So yeah, and again, and to finish on the parallel between gold and crypto, it's the value of an asset is also correlated with the difficulty to extract the asset and the scarcity, and also the difficulty to replicate. So we all believe that because Bitcoin's been created now something 14, 15 years ago, this is why it's also so valuable today, and it also goes with its value today. Yeah, that's it for it. So to come back a bit on the problem, let's not talk about opportunities or area of opportunities, and also to come back to the topic why we bridge mining, DeFi, and sustainability. In our company, we've defined 3 main areas of potential improvement of opportunities And those three areas are the following: the business, the technology, and ecology, right? Where we believe that things are not made, I would say, or still lies a lot of problems, and that we have a duty, I believe, to work on. So to start with the with the business. So today we feel like mining is a bit like agriculture, right? If you think about crypto being the restaurant, mining is the agriculture. So you don't go to the restaurant, without having something on the plate, and ultimately these things come from the land. So mining is, let's say, do the parallel. It's not well known. Until from the people I talk to, it's not well known, and it's also not super appealing, right? It's big warehouse with machine. It's noisy. It's most of the time very hot. But still, mining today represents a APY, or let's say yield potential, of somewhere 100% plus a year, right? So this is exactly where we stand. So to solve this problem, what we've done inside of the company is to say, well, let's build a product we will call, and that we've called, mining as a service, which allows institutions, neobank, centralized exchange to invest into mining activity to capture this yield in a very transparent, secure manner. So what we do, first of all, we bring a 360 services. What does that mean? We realize, first of all, that the problem of education and understanding, we need to do a lot of consultancy, which means that when a customer comes to us, it's not only about, yeah, here is the product, you need to buy it. It's more about first them understanding what is cryptocurrency mining. And then what we do after the educational part, service part, we do some simulation so they understand what are the advantages of different chains and where they should invest. And ultimately, when they are convinced that they should go this way, what do? Is we help them to acquire the hardware, because ultimately with mining as a service, you are owner of your own hardware. And we help them as well to locate the machines, right? You own 100 ASIC miner from Bitmain, that's cool. But then you need to plug them. Those machines are going to consume around 300 kilowatt hour of electricity. I mean, it's a lot of first power. It's 10 or 20 times the power that you have in one single house, maximum power, so that's a lot. And on top of that, those machines are going to generate an enormous amount of heat. So how do you cope with the heat? Because if you don't have a system, then your system is going to just overheat and you have a problem. So we find as well the best hosting facilities in the world. We have tens of hosting facilities and partners around the world where we can plug those machines. And to conclude, I would say on the services that we provide, there is a management dashboard where the customers can see in real time where this activity stands. So basic objective of mining is to get the harvest, right? You invest in a machine in dollar, you get the harvest from your mining activity in the cryptocurrency you mine, and this value discounted from the electricity price, because as owner of your miners, you also pay for your electricity. Deduced from that, you have your harvest and the net profit from the mining activity. So that's what we've done, and we have a monitoring dashboard for that as well. But that's just from a business standpoint. We deliver as well a solution with collateral. So that's exactly where the mining meets the DeFi. One of the problems talking with some partners is the following, and especially Bitcoin miners, because we started with Bitcoin. They said, well, I'm mining Bitcoin today, that price is at 25, 30,000. The main question is, the main problem is they don't want to sell it, right? Because they understand the cycle of the market, and they straight away in September, August of last year understood that it go up. The main problem they have today is to sell the Bitcoin to pay for electricity. That is something they didn't want to do. So with Jérôme and the people we have in the team who are experts in DeFi, we've plugged to the solution that we have today a system that allow the funds to go to a collateral borrowing lending system. So the people are not just selling their Bitcoin to pay for electricity, but just borrowing stable coins to pay for it. And I will show you after what is the effect on the return on investment of the overall process. And then to conclude on this mining as a service, we have the monitoring dashboard. So obviously, you've invested, you want to see what is happening. So we have created a dashboard, and then there is a video where you see 360 of the investment you've done. So there is no, we've checked, but there is no sound, so maybe we can hear a bit.
Hello and welcome. In this video, we guide you through your personalized Bitcoin mining dashboard.
So that is a video we've done. It's just presented for Bitcoin, we are about to release in the coming weeks this exact dashboard, but for 6 or 7 different chains. Okay.
Be informed with real-time market updates
so
from the Bitcoin chain.
That is the information about the chains. In the next version, you will arrive on the page where you have all, a bit the same way you arrive on the pool landing page, you have all the chains and all the performances.
Understand and improve profitability. Additionally, a dynamic graph provides live updates on chain difficulty. Your activity section is created to make it easier for you to grasp what's happening with your mining operations. In this area, you can check out a detailed table displaying your hash rate and important events related to your equipment, like maintenance, deployment, and disruptions. With this tool, you can easily see and control all of your mining machinery, gaining a clear
For that, we are connected directly with the site where the miners are operated. And these are the people on site, logging the events. So for example, there is a maintenance, your miners got offline for 3 hours. There is a down in the hash rate, obviously, but you also have the information on the right what has happened.
And explore projected yearly earnings with collateral. Gain insights into your ROI from the last month and since the beginning, and get a complete overview of your financial performance with projected yearly earnings. Now, let's check out your operations section to comprehensively explore.
You're doing maybe multiple deployments, so you can have 1, 2, 3, 4 different contracts. So all the details are here summarized, how much machines you have and everything, where they are located in the world. So Kazakhstan and UAE are the site that we operate today.
With these key details at your fingertips, you're in control of your mining efforts.
And here you have the list of all the different contracts with the details. Again, for full transparency, this information correlates with the contract. We have a formal flow of signing a contract and a commitment from customers.
Country assignments for a comprehensive legal overview of your mining agreements. All details are available right here. Now that you've explored your Bitcoin mining dashboard, remember Hearst is here to support you at every stage. Happy mining with us.
So that is the let's say the video for the home page. We have 2 other pages. Just here. We have 2 other pages where you see on-chain transactions to make sure that you every day. So mining activities delivering harvest every day, right? So when you're connected to the right pool, so you can see everything, a summary of how much you have harvested, what is the different KPIs also. We have a KPI that is the uptime. This is a very important KPI in mining. Let's say that you buy 100 miners that have 100 terahash power each. So you're supposed to get delivered 10 petahash, right? That is the theoretical computing power you have. But then there is the reality on the field, right? On how much machines are running, how they're good running. So for example, if your machine is supposed to have 10 petahash and you just have 9.8, you just have a 98% of uptime. So that is a KPI that we keep track, and we keep track in this dashboard for all different contracts of this uptime. So in full transparency. So that was it for a bit the business problem that we're solving, right, for mining. Now I want to talk about technology, and also potentially as well why we're bringing DeFi to the mining. Today, like I said, Bitcoin mining is a very infrastructure-centric activity. So the Bitcoin miners or cryptocurrency miner you're going to meet are mostly people operating these kind of facilities, big one, managing hundreds of megawatts of power, managing the maintenance on site, etc., etc. But for everything that happened before, whether it's how do I capture the capital, how do I distribute the computing power, and also what is happening after, how do I manage my harvest, how do I manage, entire solution, there is not much. And this is exactly where, with Hearst, we have decided to act. So we have three different pillars where we are solving things, and we have mainly 3 technologies that we leverage that help us to make things better. Very short, we're leveraging machine learning on 3 different use cases. First is cryptocurrency price predictions. So we are aggregating data from the market, from the social media, from different sources in order to predict what is the next move for the market. We're also using it for maintenance on site. So we're getting the data from all the miners, and we've done supervised learning, right, to understand what miners is about to fail. It helps us to improve maintainability on site. And the third subject we treat with AI is we leverage large language model, so Mistral AI, ChatGPT, etc., just to facilitate the retrieve of information inside of the dashboard. So let's say that instead of just going to the dashboard, you will just talk to chatbot that will give you all the information regarding your activity. So that's why we are pushing things forward. In terms of NFT, we've just finalized the audit of mining NFT. It's a RWA NFTs, which has two main smart contracts. The first one is the minting and distribution of the NFTs. So people can own the NFT that is correlated with mining activity. And the second smart contract is the airdrop of the net harvest. Because ultimately, when you own mining activity, what you want is to retrieve and to get the net harvest from the mining activity. So we have a smart contract that gets the net harvest discounted with all the fees and the payment of electricity, and that airdrop the right amount of harvest inside of the wallet of the owner of the NFT. And to conclude, DeFi, so I already talked a bit about it. So it's really this concept of I'm not selling my assets to pay for electricity. I'm just holding these assets and borrowing stable coins against it to pay for my electricity. So that's very good, I think, to leverage DeFi and this kind of process in the period where we are. We personally believe that we are before the next bull run, that things are going to go up for the 18 coming months. At least this is what story is showing. So this is good, not to sell today and borrow. Might not be the good idea to do it in 18 months, but still, this is where we leverage decentralized finance. And again, just to highlight the performance, that is the real chart from one of our customers and the performance he got with Bitcoin mining over the 12 past months. So you have without collateral. What without collateral means what? It means that the customers have just sold the assets to pay for electricity. And then there is return on investment with collateral. It means that instead of selling, it just kept inside of a vault the harvest and borrow and lend. Sorry, I remember. Now borrow, yeah, thank you. Borrow the stable coins to pay for electricity. And ultimately, you see, every month, and especially for the past years, the return on investment compared to without collateral are just exploded. The main reason is because he hasn't sold the BTC when it was at 25, and now that we're in May 24 and Bitcoin is at 70, the BTC hasn't sold last year, just made a triple digit on the return on investment. So that's why we're doing decentralized finance with mining. I will conclude with ecology and because proof of less work is an example that there is a conscious of doing things, or at least first a conscious that proof of work is consuming energy consuming activity, right? And that like any other activity, by the way, right? There is a lot of activities, flight and everything is consuming energy. So just a criticism, but just a way of saying we need ultimately to do things better. Today, the price point for electricity in the mining industry is something that is very, very important. For example, today on Bitcoin, if you pay electricity more than $7 to $8 cents per kilowatt hour, your activity is not beneficial. You can't do it. You pay more electricity than what you harvest in Bitcoin. So it's a very, very important point. And it pushed most of the miners to go to areas where the mining or the electricity is cheap and also where the energy is cheap. And it can be sources of gas, burning some coals. Well, this is where the industry is today. So what we want to do at Hearst, and we are fundraising currently this year, and we have another one next year, is not only to use better energy, but to build our own infrastructure. First, infrastructure for solar. We have designed a blueprint where you couple solar power in certain area of the world with batteries, and you can have 24 hours a day energy available to power your mining activity with a zero impact on CO2. We're also working with a partner for biogas farm. So biogas farm is a very, very interesting business. The main idea is to leverage the decomposition of the biomass that generate a couple of things, fertilizer, but not only, it generate as well gas that you can burn and generate electricity. That you can do it either by growing crops on the fields and harvest, or just using the garbages from different cities, the biomass, and have it in there, generate gas, and it produce electricity. It's very interesting business as well, because when we talk about money, this business is profitable by itself. So you don't need even to sell the electricity. Building a biogas farm is already positive return on investment just by selling the fertilizer. So I didn't know that 6 months ago. Now working with our partner, we know we build a biogas farm, we sell the fertilizer, positive return on investment, and we have $0 for electricity. So just thinking about what I've said previously about the importance of the price dollar for electricity, this is exactly something we believe is the future. And then there is another very interesting area that we want to work on is flare. And flare, we already have opportunities, but it's wasted energy because today, not only the crypto mining industry can benefit from better energy, but I feel that energy industry can benefit from proof of work mining. We believe that today, when you produce energy, you never match 100% the consumption of the energy you produce. So at some point, there is a wasting of energy. What we believe is that instead of wasting this energy, you can just take this energy that is not consumed and send it to a proof of work facility. And the benefits of that is that instead of just throwing away the energy, you turn it into cryptocurrencies. It's a store of value, and then you can use this value just to do something else. And I will conclude on something that is important. I mean, that is more than just the three first are projects that we're working on. It's already happening. The fourth one is more a proof of concept that we want to build a blueprint on after fundraising. The main concept is the following. Important for proof of work mining, free energy, cold temperature, and also absence or no dust, no nothing. And my background is I've been working 4 or 5 years into space industry. I was project manager for satellite, constellation satellite. I was working on telecommunication and also military subject. And so what I feel is if we get to send some miners into space, all conditions are just basically reunite to make potentially the best fit. So is it the best fit yet? I'm not capable to answer, but at least we're going to work on it in the coming months, in the coming years. So just to the last step in this presentation, what we're going to do with Alephium, how we're going to try and support the initiative. So we've defined 5 pillars. The first one is ensuring the accessibility of computing, ASIC computing power for Alephium. That is something that we will actively work on. We'll obviously work on the DeFi because we believe that, again, this collateral system is good because if you're speculating on the asset, you hedge your mining activity on the asset, it's positive, but also it improves the TVL on chain because you don't sell and therefore the asset remain on chain. We're going to also work on decentralization. We have 10 sites with partners around the world, Latin America, North America, Asia, Africa, mostly. So we will contribute to decentralization of the mining. Sustainability, of course. We want to first provide very green energy to the mining of Alephium chain. But on top of that, and a very interesting topic we've discussed with the team, is the idea of having a metadata, I don't know exactly how to call it, but a metadata attached to any coin that is mined with green energy, right? To potentially, have a secondary market, or I don't know, we need to think about it. And ultimately, is as well the forecast because, and I will conclude on that, proof of less work is something unique, but we are very skilled at forecasting the revenue and the profitability on Bitcoin chain for the miners. We will try at least to create some simulation and how the proof of less work will have an impact on miners' profitability. So I don't have any answer yet. Team is working on it. Yeah. And that's it. Thank you very much for your attention. So, yeah.
So good talk. Just on the Elon Musk side of things, the thing you had about doing things in space.
Yeah.
Quantum computing would work in space. Quantum computing.
Yeah.
Much better in space than on Earth.
Yeah.
That's just a comment. My question was about the AI stuff that you were talking about. Are you thinking of having the AI to be an AI agent doing things on the blockchain or just predicting price?
No, for now, what we're doing is on the AI, it's really supervised learning. So we don't have any agent in the sense of unsupervised learning, right? deep reinforcement learning or that sort. We are just doing supervised learning for now. And when I talked about large language model, it's really us using what is already existing, feeding with the right data, so we create the right chatbot. We will see if already we create value with that to solve some real problems, but ultimately we can create an agent that is doing things on chain. Well, maybe the objective. Thank you. Yeah.
You mentioned that there is an NFT that is airdropped to the users of the platform that represents the harvested value, right? How is value integrated into that? Is it just a number, or is it value really integrated into the NFT itself?
Yeah.
Does the NFT have value? Or...
So the NFT is like this. You buy some NFTs that represent, let's say that tomorrow we have a release of NFTs that represent 1,000 miners. So we're going to potentially create, I don't know, 500, 1,000, 200 NFTs, how much we want. Then you buy these NFTs, you own the NFT. For us, this NFT is a beacon because those machines are going to produce some harvest, right? This harvest is going to be somewhere of Alephium. And ultimately, once you've paid the electricity bill, this Alephium needs to be distributed to the owner of the NFT. So that's how it happens. First, you own the NFT. And second, the owner of the NFT receive on a monthly basis the net harvest of Alephium that has happened. This is how it works. Yeah, you have an airdrop. You have an airdrop of Alephium. And today we discuss with a lot of partners. We are capable to do the airdrop of any coins with this NFT. So people can even buy Bitcoin, and we were discussing with Avalanche, and they want to do just airdrop of AVAX. That works. Yeah.
I'm very curious about how many miners they are interested in this kind of product, because it could be like some of the miners they want very stable return and they don't want to take risk in DeFi. Some of them probably want to have more risk, but also more profit. So I'm curious about.
So that's, for me, the collateral today, the DeFi side, is something that customers subscribe or not. So there is nothing mandatory by default. The customer have no collateral. You receive your BTC, whatever coins you mine, and you sell them to pay for electricity. But we've seen for the, let's say, more advanced investors in these mining products, they can basically want more risk, right? Because they understand a bit more the market. And so we propose to them the collateral. Now the collateral is not only about all or nothing. We can have a mixed strategy where potentially you keep 70% of your asset that you mine, and potentially you sold 30%, which lower the risk. So we have this mitigation. Yep.
Just super good presentation. I really want to encourage you on the sort of signing or showing which Bitcoin were mined, like sustainable energy. I think it's going to be a game changer and differentiator in the market very soon. Since they tokenize the carbon emission quotes already, like partially with some solutions. I think if you can show that, that's like a really, really cool big innovation.
Yeah, it's very difficult to code that on Bitcoin, but what we've discussed with Alephium is directly, if we have a certificate, right, for a wallet that is mining very green, with some really paperwork at the back, we can directly, once the token is mined, code the fact that this token will have the green stamp. So that's definitely something we want to do. Yeah? Sorry, I don't hear you.
The QR code is going to no permission.
Yeah, there is a permission only for the
address, And that was the fail. That is a fail, okay. Well, but I will ask Maud, and we will send the form to people who are. So the QR code here is about getting some info about who would like to get some information about us, like a newsletter. So I will just send the link. We can do it. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Any other questions? Yeah.
Have you tested this collateral thing also in a bear market?
No, but we know it's not a good idea. Yeah, because you borrow everything and you get liquidated. So there is a management that we want to do, and we are leveraging as well machine learning, right, to get the right signals when we should do. So yeah.
And maybe adjust the strategy.
Yeah, exactly. You need to adjust as well. It's managing your vault, right, and the liquidity and the exposition of your vault. So okay, thank you very much.